I've just arrived here to this incredible city of Budapest, and already I'm overwhelmed by the history, the architecture and its people. We're going to be travelling with Scenic through Eastern Europe on a trip that I've been living my whole life to take.
I could hear the calling, a million miles. The journey begins in Vienna with a visit to the majestic Schönbrunn Palace. But we've joined in Budapest, ready to glide through 5 countries as we make our way to the Romanian capital of Bucharest, and then on to Transylvania. Sprawled across the Danube, Budapest is really 2 cities in one. Stately Buda to the west with its castle and grand buildings, and Pest, the flat part of the city and home to its commercial centre, to the east. Many of the main tourist sites are on the Pest side, including the vibrant Central Market Hall, as well as the picturesque Széchenyi thermal baths. It's not only rich in incredible architecture, but also cultural diversity, with the largest Jewish population in Eastern Europe.
We are just about to enter to the largest synagogue in Europe and the second largest one in the world.
Dohan Street Synagogue is a sight to behold, both for the intricacy of the interior and for its size, with seating for up to 3,000 people. Thanks to its many outside influences, it stands today as quite a unique structure. Jewel is the best seat in the house to soak up this glorious city. Beautiful by day, but truly magical by night.
'Cause everybody needs adventure sometimes. Chin up, chin up, chin up. Chin up, chin up, chin up.
The Hungarian town of Koloska is today's port of call, and a handy location to visit a traditional ranch known as a pushta. Here, cowboys demonstrate equestrian skills mastered centuries ago, but now maintained for tourists.
A couple of them are only tricks, but most of them were used in everyday life. For example, make the horse lay on the ground. That was not a trick. That was a surviving technique. If they were being chased by someone, they could make the horse lay on the ground and they could hide in the high grass.
In the past, these skills were a matter of life and death, but now these Hungarian cowboys maintain their craft to preserve their long and proud heritage.
Okay, gonna look. Yeah. Okay, enough already. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the cooperation of the brave ladies.
We've now crossed the border into Croatia on our Danube Delta Discovery Tour with Scenic. Osijek is Croatia's 4th largest city, and it's home to a strong cultural and artistic heritage, a legacy from having been governed by so many different rulers from all over the globe. Sitting on the banks of the River Drava, the Old Town area is the best preserved and largest collection of Baroque buildings in Croatia.
This is a famous water tower, one of the 4 gates that served as entrances into the fortress. A beautiful part of the city, Osijek, which was built in the 18th century, thanks to the Habsburgs, you know, Austrians.
Right.
So,
Well, speaking of Austrian, I can hear in the distance a beautiful rendition of Edelweiss.
Being a traveller rather than a tourist is all about engaging with the locals.
I have here a vegetable soup.
Our hosts are the delightful Miriana and her daughter Helena.
Oh, I love a homemade vegetable soup.
It's a lovely snapshot of the Croatian people and their warmth and hospitality, as well as learning about the Croatian way of life.
Thank you. Thanks.
Our driver was telling me that if he was to eat with us, he'd get into trouble with his mum because meal times are very important over the weekend with family.
Yeah, especially if your mom is cooking. You know, she's cooking all morning and then you don't come for lunch. You get in a big mess.
Yeah, is that right?
Welcome to Serbia, the starting point for this week's travels through Eastern Europe.
From the Austrian capital of Vienna, across to Hungary and now into Serbia, Scenic's Danube Delta discovery is certainly living up to its name. Serbia's capital, Belgrade, has a past that's nothing short of tumultuous. And to begin to understand it, the city's fortress is the best starting point. Built on the confluence of two major rivers, the Danube and the Sava, the fortress has been destroyed and rebuilt over and over for 16 centuries.
The Fortress of Belgrade is the largest, most important and the oldest cultural monument in our city. This is the place where one can explore the history of Belgrade from the very beginning all the way till the 20th century.
To really get a feel for the place, its people and its delicacies, we're going to do as the locals do and head to the market.
I hope you are hungry.
Yeah.
I bought some traditional Serbian breakfast. They call it burek.
Burek.
Believe it or not. And some plain yogurt, which usually they take for a breakfast. You open, you dip it inside and you're eating it.
I'm joining Tibor, our wonderful head chef, on board for a unique Shop with the Chef experience, one of Scenic's free choice activities.
It does taste a little bit like Australians have a sausage roll, right?
Sausage roll.
Right.
Yes.
But this is sort of different because it's got... In fact, what is the oil?
Because they have layers
Yeah, I know.
of the pastry.
It's not butter, though.
And not butter, they use usually a pork fat.
That's why it tastes
and it's,
so wicked.
Yes.
Tibor makes these market visits at stops all along the cruise to ensure the guests on board get to sample the local flavours too.
That's beautiful.
Oh, it's like perfume.
Can we take one, please?
Strawberry should be just eaten right now.
Yes, so please try. You don't need to even wash it.
Delicious. Yum, yum.
Very nice.
Just an hour outside of the city of Belgrade is the pretty little town of Sremski Karlovci, known for its beautiful Baroque buildings, classic architecture and its boutique but booming wine industry. The development of wine in the region is strongly linked to the Zvanovic family, with written records of wine operations dating back to the 1700s.
We have a very long tradition for a grape and for a wine here. And my family, we have tradition 7th generation, period 18th century, 1770. My great-grandfather, Teodor Živanović, working grape and wine, like many families here. And you can see on this wall is a mold. Mold is very good for a wine in an oak barrel, but mold is very good like for thermoisolation in this wine cellar.
It's very heavy. The smell in here it's difficult to express, but you feel like you're in a crypt. It's like, I want to drink your... Well, actually, I want to drink your wine, is what I want to say.
Yes.
The area was responsible for the development of its own unique blend, the Bermet, a strong dessert wine that became an important product for trade with other European countries.
Oh, that's delicious. It has like cinnamon or something in there, isn't
Yes.
it? Yeah, it tastes like a...
But many different.
I think I need to taste it again, actually.
Golubac Fortress is a 14th century medieval masterpiece, sitting at the entrance to the Iron Gates, the deepest and narrowest gorge on the Danube. It's also the launching point for a discovery of a different kind, the archaeological site known as Lipinski Vir.
We're about to see one of the oldest organized human settlements, prehistorical human settlements in Europe, dating from Mesolithic period, which is more than 8,000 years ago.
Lipinski Vir is one of the largest and most significant prehistoric archaeological sites from the Stone Age.
On this site, you can see the dwellings of the houses which people made here in that period more than 8,000 years ago.
While the remains are all original, on construction of the centre, the site had to be moved about 30 metres to protect it from the neighbouring Danube.
The location which they choose, this micro-location in the gorge, was very favourable for living.
This area is a very provident area. I mean, you look around you. We came from another area which seemed a little less picturesque, but this suddenly goes, right? And the waterway is open and there's these glorious valleys, and as you say, there's this sort of monolithic mountain, and it's like no wonder an encampment was made here. It's absolutely like top property.
Join Scenic on a truly all-inclusive luxury 16-day Danube Delta Discovery River cruise in 2021. Prices start from only $7,955 per person twin share. Start planning for travel in 2021 and your flights to Europe are included. Getaway viewers can save an additional $400 per couple. To request a free brochure or learn more, just visit scenic.com.au/getaway. Call 1300 790 372 or just speak to your nearest Scenic agent.